Okay, guys, so it is currently May 17th, 2025, and today I will be talking about mostly how I trade, what my trading strategy is, and how I go through with my model. We are currently up around 8,000 this week, which is pretty good. We took one loss this week on Wednesday, and we took a little bit of a good trade on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, which is yesterday was probably my biggest trade. I did 3.2, 3.6 ish, around give or take, around that area. And today we're just gonna go over what my strategy is and how you can hit setups like these. You can hit, you can hit setups like these. You know, what's it called? 54-point trades. Very good. I take a pretty high risk, high reward kind of setup. So if you guys are not into that, it is totally up to you. But this is currently my strategy. And you can see trades like these with very good risk to reward ratio, and we be making 2K on one trade. And yeah, so here's what I'm gonna break down today, and hopefully you guys learn something, and this helps you trade as well. So, what do I do to trade, right? So, the first number one thing that I use to trade is something called fair value gaps, right? Now, what a fair value gap is a we have a swing, we have a swing, we have a swing, we have a swing like this, right? Now, a fair value gap is something that looks like something that looks like oh, sorry for my drawing. My drawing is pretty bad. I'm on the mouse. Do not judge me. Now, what a fair value gap is that it is the zone between the previous candle and then the candle right after it. So it's technically, if we draw a fair value gap, this will be a fair value gap. Now, the size of a fair value gap does not matter. Okay, like any of you guys that are watching my videos, you would know about TGR already, and I learned this from TGR as well. That fair value gaps do not matter. Okay, size does not matter. Again, for all you guys people out there who think size matters, size does not matter. All right, you can have the smallest one, you can have the biggest one, you can have a fair value gap like this, you have a fucking a whole entire maps fair value gap that doesn't work. It doesn't matter. Okay, size does not matter. Now, I personally do not trade IFEGs because I do not like IFEGs. It's, in my opinion, it is terrible. Okay, you heard it from me. I do not trade IFEGs because I believe IFEGs don't work, and I believe that price coming down to the same point will not do the bullshit again. Okay, so that's my number one. My number one thing on my setup that I will look for is there a fair value gap, especially on the higher time frame as well. We have fair value gap on the 1 minute. We have a fair value gap on the 3 minute and the 5 minute. That's what I usually look at. If I really want to go even further, I look at the 1 hour and the 15 minutes. I do not look at the 30 minutes. That's it. Okay? So let me write this down. 5 minute min F V G. There you go. 5 minute FVG. Okay. Now, the second thing we're going to look for is something called SMT. Now, what is an SMT? Now, SMT is kind of weird to explain, but SMT is basically smart money techniques, okay? The term is smart money techniques, but it is basically when we I'm looking at two stocks, right, that relate to each other. Now I trade Nasdaq and that's shit. And we trade something called ES, okay? I don't really trade ES because ES sucks. But now, as an example, we can look at right here. We can take a look at, okay, this is gonna have to fucking reset. Hold on. I'll use 3 slides. Now, we can go and look towards New York lunch, okay? New York lunch. What do we have? What do we have here at 12:24? 12:24. We take a high right here on Nasdaq, and we can go look on ES. 12:24. Do we take a high here? No, we do not. We do not take a high here. So this on Nasdaq could be marked as an SMT. Now, what SMT does is they're imbalanced from each other, which means this, we can have a bearish or a bullish SMT. You can see here we have an SMT right here from one of my indicators that I use. Now, why does this help? This helps by, say we have an SMT while we are trading on a uptrend. We are trading on an uptrend, right? We are creating higher highs every single time. But we see an imbalance between ES and NQ. Now we trade from right here to right here. Oh, we have an SMT from right here to right here. We have an SMT, right, guys? We have a SMT right here because ES isn't correlating. This is one of my indicators that we are going to start pushing down to the downside. Well, again, I'm not solely basing this off of an SMT. I am not solely basing entering off of an SMT, but this is one of my indicators that I like to see. Okay? Now, that is my second thing that I look for in my A plus setup. Now, I call it the A plus setup because the A plus setup is honestly by far the best thing I have honestly done in a while. It is consistently in like the last 3-4 weeks keeping me profitable. And I just want to tell you guys one thing. I know that this is going off track, but passing a funded account, especially with Top Step, Take Profit, My Funded Futures, you should like honestly just try to scalp little candles and just full pour. I'm being so serious because like don't do this if you're a beginner, by the way. But I'm saying if you're like if you know all of this, you have a model that you go by, just full port and try to pass your account as quick as you can because nobody likes to do some bullshit and take as many days as possible, especially if like you're winning, you have like a 2-week winning streak and you're still not funded yet. Like you get funded and some bullshit happens, you lose your account, but you know you're consistent enough, but it's just one day, right? So it's like a bunch of bullshit. So try to pass your funded account as fast as you can. My advice is I technically full pour a lot of my funded accounts and I pass them within like 3 days, okay, which is super easy. I know what I'm doing, and before you guys go in the comments and or someone DMs me from Instagram and go like, yeah, no, you can't do that. You're just being lucky. Shut the fuck up. All right, just stop. Just stop. Just don't talk to me about all this bullshit. I've done it so many times at this point. I think I've genuinely passed like 15 funded accounts by just full porting every single time. So do not tell me it's luck. I know what I'm doing, okay? But again, I want you guys to overscale your funded accounts, or sorry, not funded accounts, evaluation accounts, and try your best to get funded as soon as possible, especially if you know you're consistent in making money from trading stocks. Okay? Now, number 3. This is one of my favorites. This is honestly one of my favorites. And why is it not drawing? Hello? Hello? Yo, are you broken? Yeah, the shit's broken. Anyways, okay. Whatever. We're gonna go over here. Okay. Now, number three, what I like to see is, hold on. Number 3 is CISD. Change in the state of delivery. What is that? What is that? Now, it sounds very complicated, it took me like a few days to learn as well. It's not super complicated, but we'll see. I use CISD and CHOCH, change of character. Change of character. Okay, what is that? What is that? See, change of character. We can be. I'll just use this as an example. We can be on an uptrend here, right? We can be on an uptrend. Actually, no. Better yet, we'll go into this one. We'll go on this one. This trade. Look, change in character. We're on an uptrend. We are on an uptrend, and it is currently we are currently pushing up, and suddenly we change directions. Change of character, right? But the next candle we get is the change in state of delivery, because market pre-market open on New York morning, right? We get this big candle wick that creates an SMT on this candle right here on the high, which marks it very well, because this is an entry for an A plus setup. Now I mark this change in state of delivery because we were going on a downtrend, and the sudden candle makes no sense. We makes no sense. So it's change in the state, right? We have a change in the state of delivery. Now, why do I mark the bottom? Because when price hits back down to this area, this is where I like to see. This is an indication for me to enter in an A plus trade. Okay? Well, how do I like to use change in state of delivery, right? As you can see here, we have a 1 minute fair value gap with the change in state of delivery. Now, what I like to see right now is tap back in. We like to see it tap back in right here, right? See, equal highs. We like to see making it equal highs. Every single time it's trying to rebound back up, we have the change in state of delivery. Now, equal highs, we like to enter off this bounce, hit, and look, we took a take profits all the way down here, making it $1,000 per $2,000 per contract. Okay, this is what I like to use for an A plus setup. This is an ideal A plus setup. We have pre-market SMT, we have fair value gap, we have change in state of delivery, we also have change of character, which is very, very good. This is an A plus setup, and the trade will hit 90% of the time that you do it. Okay, that is my strategy. And then number four is supply and demand zones. Supply and demand zones. Now, if you're a beginner trader, this is something that should be easy for you. Okay, that you should learn the first thing. Like, you should, instead of learning ICT, you should learn this first: zones and how to chart your own zones. Okay, what do I mean by charting? Now, we can take a look. You have to go on the one hourly. You don't have to go on the hourly, but I choose to, because hourly is where we get the most volume and see where we can push the most. Okay? Now, we can see before we look at the candle before the massive breakout. This right here is one of the best areas ever. 3 taps, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 taps before we push all the way up. This is a very good supply zone. Meaning price, if we come back all the way down here into this area might bounce like a motherfucker. We might bounce all the way again. Now, when I see that zone, I'm going to see, okay, we're going to get to that place. If we're creating equal lows every single time, I'm going to take a long, because I do think that it's going to go back up. Okay? I do think the supply zone is very strong, and sellers will not get past this point. This is what I mean by supply, and demand. Sorry. Supply and demand. Now, number 5, you don't have to do this, but technically I do it because I personally like my model. I like sticking to what I need to do. I like to, follow my rules. Is trade after 10 10 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, I'm talking about Eastern time here. So if you're on the West Coast, like some of my friends who trade, this is the East Coast time. Do not get this wrong. 10 a.m. East Coast is 7 o'clock for you guys. Okay? I like to trade now, especially now, because market is super unpredictable recently. I like to trade between 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Now, if a trade doesn't form here, I don't trade for the rest of the day. I'm off. Okay? I am off. Like some days you will see I do not trade. I just don't take a trade. Like here, Asia, I don't take trades. I don't usually take trades during Asia. New York AM, I take a trade here. It's very good. Um, but yeah, most of the time I don't take trades. I don't take trades in the early morning unless it's an A plus plus setup, like what we saw right here. This is an A plus plus setup. I will take a trade here in the morning, but look, if we go past 10, I'll see there's even better trade right here, which we push to a lower low, creating a New York low, right? We hit the New York low. So, yeah, my model is number 1, where did it go? Where the fuck did it go? Oh my god. I'm gonna tweak. Hello. Anyways, my model is number 1, we trade fair value gaps. We don't trade inverse fair value gaps. Number 2, we trade. Fuck, what did we trade for number 2 again? I'm being stuck. I'm being retarded. Um, where the fuck did I go? Hello? Am I retarded? Wait, where did my zones go here too? Anyways, I forgot what number 2 was. You can watch back on the video where I fucking said. I don't give a shit. And number 3, we trade CISD, change in state of character or change of character. Number 4, supply and demand. And number 5, trade after 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. I will link my Discord in the thing right below. And sorry, number 2 was SMT. Number 2 was SMT. I just remembered. We trade SMT. Um, and yeah, I will link my Discord in the bio of this YouTube video. Sorry it took so long to come out with a strategy. I'm very busy and I'm on vacation right now. And I should be making a video about my first episode of doing a clothing brand and just trying to make a scaling clothing brand. So I will try to do that as soon as I can. But once I do, it will be very, very good. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If it helped, please like, subscribe. I don't give a shit what you do. I'm just trying to help you guys make money, okay? Anyways, have a nice morning or night whenever you're fucking watching this. Stay safe and happy trading. Don't get fucked by Jerome Powell.